Hi, welcome back to the Shomi region. I'm Rocket, also known as Rocket Terrier, and this is my Fakemon region. If you're new here, the Shomi region is based loosely off the Ozarks, specifically southwest Missouri. I realize calling this a Missouri-based region overall might make some people think I'm going to include St. Louis or Kansas City related things in here, and to be honest, I might, but I'm from the southern half of the state, so that's what I'm mostly going to be using for inspiration. So everyone knows you can't start your journey without a starter. See my previous videos after this one for that. But I think early route Pokemon are just as important. Your Rattatas, your Shinxes, your Starlies, Talos, Purloins, Poochyena, Sentrets. I could literally go on. In this video, I'll be showing off our regional rodent and our regional bird. And then in the next video, you'll get to see our regional bug and our regional non-rodent mammal. And without further ado, let's get into the drawings. And all my clips are gone. Not all of them, but a big chunk of them. And when I wrote this script originally, I had written that I had no idea why that was happening. And then I got some help from my lovely friend, who let me know that I just need to pay more attention to my storage. Starting with the regional rodent, I didn't want to go for a simple squirrel or a mouse, so I went with the bunny. I love bunnies, okay? I know bunnies aren't technically rodents, they're lagomorphs, but Baneri and Banelby exist, so I think it's okay. This Fakemon is based off of an eastern cottontail rabbit and dust bunnies. I love cottontails. They are my favorite kind of rabbit in general. When I was a kid and didn't have the ability to really process the consequences of my actions, I always dreamed of catching a wild cottontail to make my pet. The design is pretty basic in my opinion, but for a Route 1 Pokemon I think it's fine. I wanted to make it look dusty, but trying to make it more brown just kind of made it look like a fart cloud, like kimchi from Chowder. So I went with a more gray color scheme. As you'll see, I've also based the shinies off of albino bunnies because I just think they're really cute. This is Dustuff, the pest Pokemon, from Dust, Fluff, Puff, and Stuff. A pure normal type. Dustuff gather in large groups, called dustings, in areas undisturbed by human presence, shedding their fur to create large nests. These nests often get picked up in the wind, forming large tumbleweed-like structures that can roll for miles. If a group of Dustuff is disturbed, they will all scatter in different directions. Once separated, they will often form new groups, meaning that each dusting has a healthy mix of Dustuff from other areas. For the evolution, I was so afraid of accidentally making Diggersby again because I wanted this thing to be part ground type that I kept it as a pure normal type, but I am willing to change it to normal ground if you all think that it should change. While still based off of the stuff that makes Dustuff what Dustuff is, you know, the cottontail rabbits and such, I also wanted to include the fact that rabbits live in large warrens, as well as Angora rabbits, because I think they're kind of underused as a Pokemon concept when it comes to rabbit Fakemon. It's evolved into a protector, hiding Dustuff within its own fur to keep them safe from predators. It's not afraid of humans and will defend its charges with all of its might. Their front paws aren't really good for digging because they're so small, but the back paws have evolved into some long stompers, perfect for kicking the daylights out of anyone trying to mess with them, or their Dustuff. Fluffleet, the protector Pokemon, a pure normal type, evolved from Dustuff. From Fluff, Fluffy, and Fleet, a word for a large group of things or people. Fluffleet are highly protective of the Dustuff they hide in their fur, fighting with all of their power if they feel they're being threatened. Their large hindpaws can deliver a powerful kick to send danger flying. Fluffleet can shed parts of their coat to create temporary hiding places for Dustuff or to build nests. The fur of a Fluffleet is coated in a fine powder that makes it impractical for human usage. And those are our regional rodents. Well, okay, bunnies, but again, you know what I mean. On to the birds! This whole line is primarily based on northern cardinals, with some inspiration taken from scarlet tanagers. I know I said I wasn't going to include lots of inspiration from the northern half of the state, but this line is also kind of inspired by my main man, Fredbird, the mascot of the St. Louis Cardinals. I love baseball, though don't ask me to name any players. I don't know them, I just like watching them hit the balls. But I felt like it was kind of my duty to make this just a little Fredbird inspired. Cardinals are my absolute favorite species of bird. I love them so much. I love to birdwatch, and whenever I see a cardinal, I get super excited, so I really feel like there was no other option to make my regional bird line based on the cardinal. Also, the other day I was sitting outside watching birds, and a male cardinal with no feathers on his head landed on our bird feeder, and I thought that was silly, so I looked it up, and it turns out when they molt all of their head feathers at once, and they just get bald. It was so funny. Also, this line is gonna have gender differences. Since female cardinals and most female birds in general are duller than males, I've decided that the entire line will have male and female gender differences. The shinies are also based on blue jays, because while I know blue jays can kind of be menaces, I think they're super cool. Also, technically the Missouri state bird is a blue bird, and while it's not a blue jay, they are different birds. I felt like I could kind of channel that by making the shiny blue. This is Cardlet, the songbird Pokemon, from Cardinal and Scarlet, though I also think the let part at the end kind of makes me think of like little, so it's like a little cardinal. A normal and flying type. Cardlet love to sing, filling the springtime air with their melodies. Male Cardlet are known to sing to just about anything that catches their eye, including inanimate objects. A well-known Shomi folk tradition states that Cardlets ward off ghost-type Pokemon with their singing. There isn't really much to say about the middle evolutions that I haven't already said for the basic stage. They get taller and lankier, kind of like a Staravia or Corvisquire. The crests on their head get bigger, and they get more of an attitude in their facial expression. I added in some white lines to separate parts of the black from the white to include some differences between the basic and first stage evolution. Though in my opinion, I think it kind of made this one look Canadian. I don't know how else to describe it, but it literally looks like they're wearing the hockey clothes of like Team Canada. Tanager, the haughty Pokemon. From Tanager, as well as kinda like a corruption on the word teenager. A normal and flying type. Tanager are obsessed with being the best flyers, challenging any and all other flying Pokemon to races. They are, however, sore losers, and will try over and over to win, even if that means their wings give out from exhaustion. Tanager are often seen at Poke Feeders in summer, trying to butt their way into getting the most food. A well-trained Tanager can also be made to deliver mail cross-region. For the final evolution, which is by far one of my favorite designs, I spent a lot of time brainstorming this one on paper to get it to look right. If I still had the notebook on me, I would show it off, but I think it's buried in my pile of notebooks. Admittedly though, I can't really draw birds very well, so I think I struggled a lot on it, but I also think I did a good job on it once I got into the swing of things. Speaking of swing of things, I wanted this evolution to be more baseball based to fit in with the Fredbird inspiration, but I really just couldn't get it to work. This evolution, honestly, some more inspirations came out of it than I even meant for it to. I thought it started looking a bit phoenixy, so I wanted to put in the fire type, but I didn't think it really needed a different type combo. There wasn't much in the lore that I had thought up in my head about this bird that would make it fire type, aside from the colors. And for the female version, I think it kind of came out looking a bit harpy-like. Like, imagine the harpy from The Last Unicorn or something like that. So I guess we're doing harpies now, too. Introducing Swordnal, the soaring Pokemon. From Soar, Cardinal, and Ordinal, like the ordinal directions on a compass. Normal and flying type Pokemon. Swordnal have a strong internal compass and map, meaning they never get lost. Swordnal migrate from the northern half of the region to the southern half every winter to escape the snowy and cold weather. So the elderly are often called Swordnals as an endearing term. Their songs are known to ease even the most anxious of hearts. And that's the first half of the Route 1 Pokemon. Look forward to part 2 soon, where I'll show off the regional bug line and mammal line. Thanks for checking out the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and share the video with others. Have a great day, you guys!